Other than the temporary background colors we have on our header, the top area, the header section of our layout for the tablet device is complete. So now let's move on to the next section, which is going to be the hero section with the large iPad graphic. So let's get to work. And of course, all the action is going to happen over inside of our external style sheet. So go ahead and head over there now. And I'm going to go and target my hero iPad class rule. Now, the way that I'm going to handle the iPad graphic is the same as I handled the logo and also the button inside the header. Maybe I didn't really explain exactly what I was doing there. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to explain to you exactly what's happening, but give me a moment here. I'm going to throw in all of the settings first and we'll preview the results and then I'll explain exactly what's going on. So the first thing that I want to do with my hero iPad is I want to restrict his width, or said another way, make his width scalable by using a percentage. So I'm going to go 50% for his width. The other thing that I want to do is I want to get rid of the extra space on his left-hand side, which is coming from the previous group of CSS rules for the high-res display. So in other words, the high-res display has some margin left on this guy. So I'm going to say margin hyphen left, :space 0, something like that, okay? Now, after this CSS rule, I'm going to go and create a second rule. I said just a second ago that I'm going to handle this guy the same way as I handled the logo and the button. So I'm creating another rule, just like I did for those previously mentioned areas inside of our layout. So I'm going to go .heroIPad, something like this, space image. So once again, just like the logo, just like the button, if we have a graphic sitting in something called a hero iPad image, then we want to control it. What we want to do with them is we want to control his width. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to set his width to 110% like so. Okay? Let's do a quick preview and see what we get. Make sure to save up your work and then refresh ScreenFly there, if you would. Looks like my keyboard shortcut didn't cooperate for me. There we go. We now have something like this. So what exactly is going on here with the iPad graphic, with the logo, and with the button? Well, the .heroIPad class rule, you might want to flip back to your external style sheet so you can reference that as I'm talking along here. That rule controls the div, the container that the iPad graphic itself sits inside. So what I've done here is I've told the container to be 50% of the available width, and then I've told the iPad graphic itself to be 110%, in this particular case, of its original size. And we essentially did the same thing, took the same approach with the logo and with the button as well. So that's what's happening, okay? All right, so we have the iPad graphic, looks hunky-dory there inside the layout. Now we have some text underneath here that's got to come up, share your beautiful designs, and we've got a button there and so on that we've got to manage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now go after those areas inside the hero section, and this gives me an opportunity to show you some neat stuff, some additional interesting areas of responsive design that you may wish to make use of on your own. I'm going to go after hero text now, okay? So this is the class that controls the container that holds all the text inside the hero section. I'm going to reduce down his width down to about 43% or so, okay? And I arrived at 43%, by the way, just by experimenting. I'm going to adjust his margin right as well, margin hyphen right, and I'm going to set that to 10 pixels as well, okay? All right, good stuff. You can save and preview if you want. Go for it if you like. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep moving here. I'm now going to go after the heading 1 that resides inside the hero text div. And what I want to do here is I want to introduce you to a new way to control font sizes in CSS. This has been around for maybe, I'm not even really sure, maybe about 18 months or 20 months or something like that. And this is a really nice way to handle scaling font sizes for responsive design. What I could do is, well, first of all, I could stick with a traditional font sizing method like 20 pixels, a fixed width, right? We talked about this a lesson or two back, didn't we? That's certainly one approach. I could also use a scaling percentage if I wanted to, something like this. And we've already seen this once or twice already in our travels in terms of controlling font size. Check this out, though. I'm going to do something a little bit bizarre, a little bit new here. I'm going to go font hyphen size, : space 8. VW. not the bus or the Beetle. This is VW standing for vertical width. Okay, so 8 VW followed by a semicolon. Okay, now what this is going to do is this is going to set the font size of our heading 1 here depending on the width of the viewport. In other words, depending on the width of the device that's being used to view the content. Okay, so it's not based off of the width of the parent container, like a percentage or an M unit of measurement might be. This is now based off of the viewport. So if you're taking notes, definitely jot this stuff down. It's important to know. And here it is for you. 1 VW would be equal to 1% of the viewport width. So here what I'm saying is that I want my H1 inside the hero text to be 8% of the viewport width. Okay? Definitely experiment with this on your own to really get a good feel for it. In the meantime, I'm going to save up my work and head back to ScreenFly and refresh and see the result that I get. There we go, something like this. So now we have this scaling Share Your Beautiful Designs H1 sitting inside my hero section. And of course, if I go and scale my device, or the width of my browser window, or the width of the viewport, really, I should say, you're going to see this heading 1 scale. Okay? Again, maybe it's a little bit easier for you to see inside the actual browser here. Give me just a second to scale this guy down. There we go, something like this. So now we have the font size being set depending on the available viewport width. Okay? Pretty cool stuff. All right, there's one final thing, kind of a minor thing, that I want to finish off here, and that is I want to adjust the amount of space we have beneath the placeholder paragraph inside of our hero area. Not nearly as exciting as adjusting or setting font sizes based on the viewport size, but anyway, let's go and get the job done. Back inside of our external style sheet, this is going to be our paragraph, so hero text P, and all I'm going to do here is I'm going to say margin bottom, like so, and then 20 pixels. Should do the job. Let's go and refresh our browser here again. And again, ScreenFly is not being kind to my keyboard shortcuts. Give me a second here to refresh this. There we go. There's our adjusted space beneath the placeholder paragraph. But more importantly, we have the hero section complete now with the iPad graphics sitting on one side nicely, the hero text, which is going to scale for us, sitting over on the other side. You know, I just thought of this now. You may want to set up this paragraph here to also automatically adjust its size based on the viewport as well. Certainly your call, and I'll leave that up to you.